Hi guys, so it's April. It feels so weird being in front of the camera again. I've not been in front of my proper DSLR camera in so long. Anyway, so I thought I'd get back into doing my ranting videos, you know. I'd go through phases where I'd make a video where I'd rant about some random rubbish. And I really enjoyed doing it, but I ran out of things to rant about because there's not really anything that's annoying me at the moment. I prefer ranting about little things that don't really majorly matter. Anyway, so I thought I'd make a new ranting video because I was in the mood and I'm sick of people doing this, okay? So I've been talking to a lot of people lately who play a lot of Xbox games, a lot of PlayStation games, and I'll go, oh yeah, I play games too. They'll ask what I play. I'll say I have a Nintendo Switch, I play on that a lot. I also have a 3DS, and they'll look at me, laugh and go, you're not a gamer. That pisses me off. Now then, you're allowed to disagree with what I'm saying. You're more than allowed to that. You're allowed to disagree with fact, okay? Even though fact is always correct, you're allowed to disagree with it. There's no law saying you can't. You're still allowed to have an opposing opinion. But at least hear the video out first. Okay. So I think that Nintendo gamers are actual gamers, just not in the same way. I don't see gaming as being one way kind of thing, if that makes sense. Gaming is quite a broad kind of subject. Fair enough, I don't think phone gamers are gamers, but Nintendo gamers are, okay? I've been playing Nintendo games since I was 7. Like, my first console was a Game Boy Advance SP. It is technically a console, it's not like a proper console that you plug into your TV, but it's still classed as a console. So, I'd have that. I still have a Game Boy Color. I have a DS Lite. I used to have a Wii. I still have my DSi and 3DS, and I have my Switch now. And I play on my Switch a lot, not gonna lie. It annoys me how people will play an Xbox game for 5 hours and call themselves a gamer. I'll play on my Switch for about 12 hours a day, and I'm still not classed as a gamer. If you look into it, the actual definition of a gamer is someone who plays games on a console for a long period of time, okay? If you're typing in the internet what any of the Nintendo consoles are, what is a Nintendo Switch, what is this, what is this, what is a DS, they will all have the word console in them. They are a console, mostly a portable console, but nevertheless a console, okay? So, technically, I am defined as a gamer, but for some reason publicly I'm not seen that way. God, this video could be used as a metaphor for anything from gender equality to bisexuality. Dear Lord. Anyway, gaming. When I ask these people why I'm not a gamer, one of the most common things people say is, well, Xbox gaming and PlayStation gaming's a lot harsher. What do you mean by that? Well, they're for adults. Okay. What do you mean they're for adults? You can shoot people in the head. So if I don't like shooting people in the head, I'm not a gamer. If I don't take fun out of being a serial killer, I am not a gamer. That's not making any sense, okay? So I've gone through loads of people and tried to figure out what they mean by it's not a gamer, and I'm trying to understand what they're meaning, but I just keep debunking it. Like, one thing is, one of the most common things is people say that Nintendo games are for kids. I heard this a lot, so I thought I'd look it up. I have done some research and actually counted. There are more kids games on a PlayStation or Xbox than there is on Nintendo consoles, generally. Quite a lot more, actually. There's not many games that are made specifically for children on Nintendo, whereas there's a hell of a lot on Xbox. People argue against that, saying, what about Splatoons, for example? What about Super Mario Brothers? They're not made for children. They're family games. I'm using this a lot because it's quite a broad sense. The developers didn't make them specifically aimed at children. They made them as family games, okay? That means there's barely any children's games. They're mostly just family games. People have argued this point and everyone's like, well, what's the difference between a family game and a children's game? And my answer to that is, how thick can you be? Let's bring a film in. If we go away from gaming, let's bring films into the equation. I would happily, right now, sit down and watch The Simpsons movie. Happily. Because I enjoy that film. It's a family film. So, it being a family film, as well as me enjoying it, I can also sit down with a 5-year-old and they would enjoy it. And it'd be averagely suitable. I can also sit down with a 30, 40 or 50-year-old and watch it. And they would probably enjoy it because it's a family film, so it's made for all ages, no matter how old you are. You could be 90 years old, you could be 9 years old, you will enjoy it. That's a family film. For some reason people get that mistaken with kids' films. But I don't understand how you could, because family film's just an ordinary film that doesn't have anything that could upset children. Meanwhile, children's film is very, very different. It avoids the entire adult ratio of it. So, even though I'd happily sit down and watch the Simpsons movie, I don't know if this is the actual name, but the Rugrats movie, I would not be happy to sit down and watch. The Rugrats movie was made when I was a kid. I would have happily loved to sit down and watch it then. The Rugrats movie, because it's made for children. As an adult now, I would not enjoy watching the Rugrats movie. Nor would I sit down a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old and expect them to enjoy the Rugrats movie. Fair enough, adults can watch them. They are made in certain ways so adults will slightly enjoy it as well, just so they can grin and bear it for their children, so they can watch it with their children. But it's not really made for them in mind at all. You see what I mean? Can you see the difference between the Simpsons movie and the Rugrats movie, yeah? So now if you're thinking of that, can you compare... I'm trying to think. Let's go to Splatoons. Can you compare the Splatoons to... I can't think of many children's. Compare the Splatoons to My Baby 2, where you pretend that you have a little baby. You know what I mean? Children's game. Family game. There's more children's games on Xbox than there is on Nintendo, but there is a lot more family games on... There's also more family games on Nintendo than there is Xbox and PlayStation, but there is also a lot more adult games on Xbox and PlayStation rather than Nintendo games. There's not many adult games on Nintendo. So if you think of it as where there's the most children's games, then that'd make PlayStation, Xbox not really gaming. I'm not saying that because I know they are gaming. When you think gaming, you think PlayStation and Xbox. Whenever you see posters of gamers and stuff like that, there's always an old-fashioned Nintendo console, like the N64 or the GameCube. There's always that more often than anything else. Does that mean that the console has to age 20 years, 10-20 years before it is classed as gaming? That makes no sense. That's like saying a car isn't a car until it's 50 years old. No. Just because they're used by a different audience at different times doesn't mean that it's not gaming, okay? Like, I will admit I used to have an Xbox. I enjoyed my Xbox. I really did. I used to play GTA on it a lot. I completed GTA and I got quite far into the online thing. I had Tomb Raider. I had loads of games on my Xbox. I couldn't list them. I still play it on Bruce's PlayStation. He has a PlayStation 4 and I love playing Destiny on it. I'm like halfway through completing Destiny, kind of. I really enjoy that. So, by more than anything, enjoy Nintendo, okay? And I feel like I can't think of how to explain myself. Makes sense in my head. As much as I would use a PlayStation or an Xbox to fill out a lazy day, okay? So if I had a full day to myself of doing nothing, I would sit down at a PlayStation or an Xbox and play that all day. Meanwhile, a DS. I travel a lot, so I get more use out of a DS. I'd use a DS on long train rides or a road trip or on an aeroplane to cure boredom, okay? But just because they're made to be used at different times doesn't make it not gaming. Also, I like Nintendo because the games are more relaxing. You're not shooting people in the head. If you've had a stressful day and you're angry at people, you don't want to then go on a game and someone else shoot you in the head. I like to go and play a game where I just get a virtual gun and splat people with paintballs, or I don't know, play a platforming game, or I'm looking at my list of games now, or I just get into a cute little imaginary cart and there's all these bright, pretty colours like happy. Be happy. They're much more happy games rather than depressing, angry games. Not once have I thrown a DS out of the window, whereas you see pictures online of where people have actually lobbed the controller at the TV because it's angered them. I don't like angry games. April is not fun when April's angry. So yeah, I don't feel like I've explained enough, but like, do you see where I'm coming from? I feel like gaming, Nintendo gaming is still gaming, but I feel like Nintendo gaming is a lot more casual than PlayStation, Xbox, whereas that can be quite professional gaming, you know what I mean? Professional gaming, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, just casual, on the move, Nintendo. And another main thing is the fact that I say to people, I'm a gamer, I play a lot of Nintendo games. People who play Xbox and PlayStation, they straight away shout at me, go, you're not a gamer, how dare you call yourself. And that's the main thing, that's the main reason why I'm having this rant, because it's such a pathetic thing, but I feel like, even if I was wrong, even if Nintendo gaming wasn't real gaming, is it worth someone shooting you down for? It's okay for people to say, okay, you play a different kind of games to me, okay, or okay, but I feel like I wouldn't be a gamer if I played Nintendo games. That's their opinions. Opinions are completely fine. But if you shout at me and say I'm an idiot for thinking that I'm a gamer, how dare I think that because I play this kind of game, how dare I waste my money on that? It's so stupid, why didn't I just get an Xbox? I think, well, you're a fucking asshole. Is it really worth having an argument with someone over? Just for that little title, is it worth arguing with someone over? And like, if you don't play games, you might think this is a daft rant, but whenever I talk to someone who plays games that aren't Nintendo, they do act this way. They're incredibly rude to me. And saying I'm very childish, well, I am, but that's irrelevant. When people reminisce of old-fashioned gaming, back in, I don't know, the 80s and 90s, they're like, oh yeah, the old-fashioned Pokemon, old-fashioned Zelda, yeah. Back to the old days when Zelda came out and Pokemon, and yes, gotta love playing Pokemon and Zelda on the Xbox. Again, Nintendo gaming is gaming. Different section, different entire genre, different in every aspect in the world, completely miles apart, but nevertheless still within that circle of gaming. I feel like I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here, so I'm going to end it there. You can put your opinions down below. I don't mind you having an opinion in the comments. If anything, I'd like to read it, and I don't mind having a discussion with you about it. But don't be offensive, don't call people idiots, don't slag people off, don't be horrible to people just over something so small, okay? It's really not worth arguing for. So I think I've finished with this video because I've got myself wound up and I also need to tidy my room because it's a mess. Thought I'd just quickly make this video before it entirely goes dark outside because that's my only form of lighting. Well, obviously I have proper room lights, but it doesn't look good on camera. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Goodbye. Oh, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new, do vlogs every single day. I'm starting my vlogs again this weekend, like today, because it's Saturday, so Monday will be the most recent vlog, and I'll start vlogging again. I usually have 2 vlogs a week, but it's, you know, one vlog I'll have Monday to Friday, the other one I'll have Saturday to Sunday. So if you're new, that's how it works. I'll also be uploading 2 extra videos a week where I'll rant, or I'll play a game, or I don't know, do a tag. I do random videos. I'm so tired. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Goodbye.